Wanted to jump on this evening to do some channeled messages to kind of introduce this new energy that we're getting into. My acknowledgement of the ancient calendar and the Lunar New Year, for me, connects more to spring, new beginnings, Aries season. And for me, it's a window between about now and April 1st that I don't see new beginnings as this quick start, but this sort of opening. Hey, Mark, Jennifer, Cindy, hi. I wanted to jump on to talk about new beginnings. For anybody who follows along with astrology or the Chinese New Year, there's a lot of talk about the fire horse here. So I want to get into this new start that I'm feeling. I think that most people celebrate the new year in January 1st, but I don't. I actually see it as being in the middle of winter, a time to rest and a time to review. So that's what I've been doing for the last actually couple months is really reviewing and taking stock of life, my patterns, things that have been happening in the last year. And then as we end that kind of wintering, frozen over, hard, cold, gray season, we're just starting to feel this new beginning of fresh life. And I know that there's people in the South, the Southern Hemisphere, and the Northern Hemisphere, but I actually feel a new beginning that's very much global. So we do have an eclipse that's happening. We have a Lunar New Year that's happening. And um, a lot of people just go like, oh, woo woo, whatever. But I look at this as an ancient guidance system that has been around for eons, that almost all cultures around the entire world have followed and used because it shows us how to sink into the patterns of nature rather than fight against them. So for everybody who starts their new year in the beginning of January and they just can't seem to get it started, this is for you because that was the winter. That was the rest time. That was the cold. That's everybody shut inside for that internal work. So I'm just going to welcome in a few people. Jennifer, Cindy, Mac, Lee, and Rob. It's really great to have some familiar faces here. Thank you guys for being here. I want to offer up the chat window to add in comments, add in questions, add in things that you want messages for as we create this space together. I try to stay away from the hippie language, but I do see that when we join in our intention, messages that come through will be much more specific to what you're looking at. So I tuned in first and I pulled a card, and the first card was New Beginnings. That's funny because I was planning to talk about it even before that. Um, I don't know if any of you guys have been feeling something big, something about your intuition, unexpected things, things that you can't foresee, but you can almost feel it in your gut. Like there's something opening up, whether that's globally, whether that's on the individual level. I feel like people can sort of sense this. So this is Lady of the Lake. I'm doing a card for this is the Healing Waters deck, but this is definitely not in focus. But it's basically like the Fool in tarot. It's the new beginning. So that was the first thing. Something's about to happen. Hey, Dodge, Dodge Feeler. So nice to have you here. I'm Megan Youngmee. Thank you guys for being here. I just felt a huge weight on my chest as soon as you entered. So if I can have everybody take a big deep breath right into the heart and watch it soften. Because I can feel each person's energy. So I'm going to have everybody take a big deep breath and watch it soften. So, if you haven't been here for my lives before, I do add some guided breath work. It's to help us all sink in together, but also to heal yourself, recenter yourself, turn off the fight, flight, freeze brain. Plenty of studies show that a few conscious, slow breaths with a nice long exhale bring you back to center pretty quickly. So that thank you guys for doing that. I felt the heaviness of the chest just lift, but now I'm feeling a closure of the throat. So if everybody can do a big yawn breath, which is a big open mouth. And watch your shoulders drop and exhale together. So, for anybody joining, we're just going to tune in with a little bit of breath work. Tonight, we're going to talk about new beginnings because we've got the Lunar New Year, the eclipse, springtime, Aries, all of the symbols pointing to something's opening. And for everybody who wants to be done with the heavy, done with the shedding, done with the like, this again, I'm feeling that start to open. So, that was what the reading was about. And again, I'm going to invite people to comment, add questions for specific issues if they want that I can get to later. But right now, we tune in with the breath, we sink in the energy, we chill out the nervous system, and we land here together. All right. Robert, wonderful. Carrie, wonderful. I get it. I like that. Carrie Shaw, Lori. It's been amazing to connect with you guys here on Substack, read your readings, feel your energy. Thank you. So I will pause at different points as I feel things in my own system because I can feel the pains in other people's bodies. I can also sometimes hear the thoughts and see the backstories of people's lives. Not something that I've openly shared before because it's an uncomfortable thing to feel felt, to be vulnerable. Um, but it is something that has proven to happen to me and has been confirmed. So if you guys do want to get confirmations or validations, just do a little tick in the live chat and I'll see if I can pull up some confirmations and validations for you that it's like, this is your message. Everybody exhale. Doesn't that feel good? It's so necessary in this very fast paced world. A lot of people say that my voice is very soothing, very calming, and even very healing. And that after spending some time together in this session, I said session, but I was originally saying channeled, that when we spend some time together in this space, they actually feel more at ease or they start to feel shifts in their own life or initiations of things. So I pulled Lady of the Lake, New Beginnings, Fresh Starts, and I actually did an I Ching reading before we started. So I'm going to flip to that page and I'm just going to read it for y'all. 229 and I hate winter and hearts. Thanks, guys, for interacting in the live chat. I see you. Holding together. How do we hold together? How do we create union in such divided times? Hey, that's the reading for tonight. It feels appropriate. Seeking union within ourselves, within some sort of divine force of God, wonder, love, life. And people think like, oh, we can't, or they're so separate. But when I think about being in nature and that we're breathing in the breath of the trees and the trees are breathing out for us and it's just coming in and going out. And it's just this beautiful connection that we're literally breathing together. And people forget that how interconnected we are, how porous we are, that as soon as I exhale and bring my energy down, it's interesting that yours matches because we're porous, we're connected. Hi, Rob. Good night. Sleep well. Annie, hi, Wen, Julie. I'm so glad to see you guys here. Anybody that wants to pop in, pop out, check in later. I'm never offended. I say, come and go as you please. But thank you for spending time together. So let's talk about union and these new beginnings. How do we create it to complement and assist, not be the same, not come from the same perspective, but to complement and assist each other, just as the rain complements the earth and assists it to grow and purify. Rain is also another thing that unifies because we all have 70% water in our system that then goes out in vapor or pee that turns into clouds that rains back down, that becomes the ocean. So when we talk about these ideas of unity, I look at it very, very literally that we are literally the same droplets in different forms, in different states. So it helps us see that maybe we're more interconnected and one than we might think. In order for unions to bear the greatest possible fruit, certain requirements must be met. The first requirement for holding things together with others is that you hold your own inner truth, your own vibration, who you are. So, this is a huge key. If we don't know who we are, oh, I think I'm my money. I think I'm my job title. I think I'm somebody's son. I think I'm somebody's that. You don't know beyond the programs, beyond what you're told you should be. You don't know who you truly are. There's no way that you can come together with others. So that's why the work of doing the inner work, who am I? What do I want? Who am I really? Who am I really over and over again? If we don't have that first, we can't come together. So we have to adhere to those principles and values and that center point within ourselves first. And that means striving to remain innocent, balanced, and correct in integrity with ourselves. What we think, we do. What we know to be right, we act on. This is how we become one within ourselves. So you can't create unity if you are a fragmented person that says one thing, does another, that makes a promise, doesn't keep it. That is going to fall apart and break apart. So when we come into ourselves and we can see this behavior is not working, this thing I used to believe isn't actually true for me anymore, and we start to shift our habits and shift our actions to land in that, acting as we know to be true, knowing ourselves and what we truly want, not what we think we want. There's no other unity beyond that. Everybody take a big inhale and exhale. Feel the shoulders drop. Feel the face melt. Feel the stomach. Just feel where you're holding tension even now. In the evening, where you might be grasping, holding, fighting, resisting just by muscle memory. So let's just exhale. Sunny, thank you. I'm happy to be here, to be a voice for all of us to connect in this space. Exhale again. Sigh. Let it go. Let all those resistances, hardenings, fighting, literally loosey goosey. Shake it out, everybody. Because I feel when I step into the energy with many people, a tightness and anxiety, a holding. So we want to let that go. We want to just soften it. Exhaling again after an inhale. Inhale big. Taking up space, exhaling, loosey goosey, soften, sigh, relax. So we're talking about unity. We're talking about new beginnings. We're talking about all of this division we're seeing in the world. But I know it seems so counterintuitive and just hippy dippy to be like, it starts within, it starts within. But literally, that's the guidance. You cannot meet other people as a whole, full person of integrity and expect them to do the same if you haven't done that work. So, Jason, hi. Patrick, hi. I just want to say thanks to each and every person for being here. You mean the world to me, truly. Thank you. So, holding together, integrity within ourselves, acting as we know to be true, not being out of whack. There's lots of hippie words like alignment and integrity, but like, what does that mean to you? What does it mean when you see somebody who you can trust them? You can trust their word. They're not gossiping, they're not complaining, they just live it, they be it, they do it. There's not that many out there, are there? Why? Because it's hard. It's the hardest thing. It's true power to have that. So let's all become that one breath at a time, one pause at a time, one check in, self responsibility without defensiveness. So that's how we come together. We hold it together within ourselves. And we steadfastly resist the clamoring of the emotional inferiors, is what it says in the book. For me, I don't know about you guys, but the last couple weeks, months, I've been feeling a lot of old thoughts that I thought I had worked through coming back up. For me, it's like a fight in my head sometimes. It's spinning around and around an idea. It's that rumination that happens sometimes when we're overthinking and we're in our head. And that's been like surfacing. And there's been a new awareness that I'm in it. There's been a new observation in real time, which is really the work to see it in real time, to see, okay, I'm spinning out. Okay, I'm disassociated. Okay, I'm in my head. To go catch it, vigilance, notice it, and steadfastly resist and say, no, thank you. I don't play that anymore. What do I need to do to bring me back? Have I practiced it? Do I have those tools? Maybe you haven't. That's okay. For me, I've been catching it. It's hard. That thing has momentum. That thought, that idea, that spin cycle, that vortex of doom, despair, that fight, it's old. It's been around for a while. So I have to catch it in the moment and then I have to do something else. So for me, I like go weed. I really like to get my hands in the earth. And I always have a great garden because it's this thing that I have to do. If I don't go physically do something to pull it out, to land in my body, to feel the elements on my skin, to feel the dirt under my fingernails, I start to spin out. I do the calligraphy meditation, so I posted that on notes, that it'll just bring me back to physically moving my hand and smoothing out and slowing down. S Or it's music, it's turning it on. My son actually was like, "Mommy, play the ukulele," which I haven't done in, like, 10 years, but I have one and it just got gifted to me. And it brings me a lot of joy, but I forget about it, like most of our fun activities that we put off and we're too busy for. And he was like, "Do it." And I just immediately started playing and I'm terrible. I haven't practiced it that long. I picked it up because I just wanted to learn it. But it brings me so much joy. It's just a friendly sounding instrument. And so he started singing along with me, which was the most delightful thing. So I forget these things that bring me back, but I had to start to track them. Maybe it's a glass of water, maybe it's stepping outside, just something to catch the thought train, catch the spiral. Know that it's this old stuff. Fear not. Yes. In every religious text, fear not has been said over and over because fear will keep us in a low vibration, unclear, however you want to describe it. Fear not. I've been hearing It's All Coming Back to Me now, a Celine Dion song, but just that line that like what we've put out comes back to us, whether for the good or for the negative, the heavy. But we're talking now about integrity, and Cindy actually said, "I don't personally know anybody who lives in integrity that says what they mean what they say, do what they say, act on it." And my challenge is if we are looking outward and don't see it, what are we doing in our lives? Maybe you made that promise to yourself, maybe you made that promise to somebody else, but is your word your bond? Do people know that they can count on you? This is integrity. And you can tell a person like this because when stuff starts going sideways, they're the person that steps up. It's not the leaders that squawk and talk and tell everybody they know everything. No, it's the people that have been quietly doing it. And it's not the spiritual leaders you think, it's the people quietly doing it. So, how do we come together with each other? How do we unify these energies? Integrity. And when we have those old spin cycles and those old energies and these old patterns, we catch them. We are vigilant. We become aware that they're happening. And we say, not today. I've been seeing Gandalf that says, this shall not pass. I said it wrong. Um, but I'm just seeing him put the staff down. You shall not pass. That old thought, that old emotion. So that's what I've been feeling in the last couple weeks. So I am going to have everybody take another breath because I felt another bang, heaviness on my chest. So take a deep breath in, feel it expand. Watch it exhale. Fill the heart and feel it expand in all directions, even through the back. Visualize light and then just watch it. One more big one. If you can't go that long, that's okay. Work the muscle, stretch it out. When I live in alignment and I'm truly myself, says Cindy, it tends to offend people and they go away. Yeah, it will. It absolutely will. That vibration goes not aligned, doesn't work, can't handle it, can't see it, not ready. It's hard. It's hard to say goodbye to those that no longer are on the same wavelength. It's painful. We're humans. There's a lot of grief, and we do a lot of clinging, a lot of attaching. I notice that there's a lot of chapters of people coming and going, lessons in and lessons out, and when things stick and when things release. But I am seeing a lot of people start to split directions. So it's interesting coming together. The truth and the paradox coming together in union actually means a lot of breaking off of situations, people, dramas, old patterns that break off. So I am going to ask you guys to stretch your hearts out, man. I'm feeling so much heart pain tonight from y'all. So I'm sending you a big old hug. I also just got chilly, so I'm going to put on my sweatshirt. So I am doing an I Ching reading now for people who are just tuning in. Coming together with integrity within ourselves. And as we do, that which doesn't serve will naturally fall away, which is another layer just in itself. And then steadfastly resisting the clamoring of the mind and those old fights. If we are not resolute against fear, doubt, despair, anger, no lasting success will be possible within any relationship, partnership, friendship, community ship. Do not fear. Our friend here, Dodge Feeler, said, fear not. Those have been the energies for me to look at through my life. Fear, doubt, despair, and anger. And then the more subtle ones for me have been complain, compare, and judge. When I start to see those energies playing their old games, oof, and notice how common they are. And my throat just closed up. Everybody take a big yawn breath. Oh, stretch it out, exhale. Those are some sticky old energies. No lasting success. If we build from a place that is seeded with fear, doubt, despair, anger, comparison, judgment, complaint, that's what grows. Whatever that seed is planted is what will grow. So there's a lot of, I was just talking about weeding that we're doing right now and replanting new seeds. So as we start this new beginning, I want you to ask, what seeds have you been planting with every thought, every action, every word? Words are spells, spelling. In Spanish, it's oración, prayer. Language in the Bible, it talks about the word. Neuro-linguistic programming, our words become our actions, our beliefs, our emotions. I'm going to slow it down. Exhaling. It's a good time to ask yourself if you are displaying steadfast correctness. It's a hard one. I've been asking myself, where do I need to close things? Where do I need to finish things? Where did I not learn the lesson? I do a lot of gentleness. I do a lot of holding. I do a lot of grace in the work. We cannot do this work without compassion, grace, and gentleness. But there's a certain other counterbalance, which is the stick, the steadfastness, showing a strength of character, showing, being the integrity in the outside world. That's the hardest part of this journey. That's the hardest part. With grace and compassion, because none of us are perfect. We're all learning. We're all figuring this out. But it is the responsibility of the one who will unite others to be that. The only way is to live it by example. The only way is to be the light beam. And that's how things can be in the light. This is the desire for community deeply felt by all humans. This is the desire for unity we all feel. This is the desire for the true family, the true tribe, the one that we all feel homesick for, that we've missed, that we deserve. But it starts here. Exhale. Deep breath in the heart, guys. This is hard work. This is hard work. Patrick, Joseph, Jason, Cindy, Liana, Rebecca, Lori, Margaret, I love you guys. Bernard, Maria, Catherine, thank you. I see you. I feel you. Deep breath into that heart. Huge. Fill it up. I do it from the nose, but I do a vocal sound from my mouth so you guys can hear that kind of long, oceanic, slow breath. The one that comes from the trees, breathes in, back and forth. That's the kind of breath we're looking for, not the sharp up downs. That causes more anxiety, but the expansive, no sharp edge, balloon just softly deflating. That's the breath we're looking for ease. That's the breath we're looking for balance. So everybody shake it out. Life's intense, but like, la 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 la. We can't take it all too seriously, as intense as these ideas are. Okay, unity, new beginnings. Hello. New year, at least that's how I see it, Lunar New Year, but I don't see it as a door. I see it as a portal that opens, that kind of stretches, and then we walk through. It's kind of like birth, hey? It goes through waves of contraction, waves of breath, waves of intensity. New beginnings are not Happy New Year. It's a season where the rains start to change. The air feels a little different. All of a sudden, you hear the birds. And if you don't, get outside and pay attention, because that's the most important stuff. All right, integrity. That's the thing we all want. We want integrity within ourselves. We want integrity within our leaders. But if we don't have it, we can't create. And we are the creators of this world. That's how powerful we are. All right, we got some changing lines. Proper relationships flow from proper principles. So if your foundations are all whacked out and you don't have things that are most important, that matter most, that's what you'll get. So I always say, like, a peace tree comes from a peace seed. Don't cling to others. This is the hardest part, because not everybody is ready. Not everybody is willing. Not everybody wants to see. There are a lot of people that want to stick their head in the sand. in these times, it's harder and harder, isn't it? It's getting more and more obvious how bonkers it is. But there's still people that don't wanna see, and I call it rat energy. Being a person that follows something that's true, it becomes a challenge. So here's an example. When I left society, people thought, "She went crazy. Why would she do that? That makes no sense. She has everything." Who do you think you are? You get to do Maria, Lara, Yolanda, Felipa, thank you guys for being here. Um, and if you just want my voice in the background, I'm happy to lull you to sleep or into a nice meditative state. But yeah, when we start to live in truthfulness, it becomes a light and people will skitter and scatter, or they will come up to fight. That belief system that thinks its identity, that thinks it's self, will go into fight, flight, freeze, kill or be killed, run away or fight. So that might happen as you go through changes and shifts in your life where people start to disappear. People start to want to fight you because you didn't follow, what's the expression, like toe the line like everybody else did. Everybody's going along and you stepped out of it and all of a sudden they're mad at you. But is that about them or is that about you? Yeah, crazy times, crazy world. But we send lots of compassion because this world has tried to keep us in a state for a long time. And more people are going, wait, what? No, I don't think so. Proceed firmly, but cautiously, paying attention to each step. As we step into the new, I find a lot of people are like, throw me in there, get me in there, coach. I feel this change. I want to move. I want to drop the job. I want to, whatever that feeling is, that call, right? I've been having a lot of very big calls and they're very overwhelming and they're very scary. And I don't feel comfortable with it. As many times as I felt this, each time it hits this resistance and it hits this intensity. And it doesn't say stop. It doesn't say run in the opposite direction. It says walk with care. Set up your steps wisely this time. Fire horse doesn't mean like run blazing. Okay, maybe a little bit. There is some of that, but it is asking us to do it with wisdom. That sort of slow, smooth, supported, sure step. Can anybody confirm that I'm still here in the chat, my darlings? I haven't seen much activity. Robert, Carrie, Annie, Sunny, thank you. Thank you guys for being here. So, this is the I Ching reading for anybody tuning in, holding together, integrity, wanting to see unity and peace in the world, but not realizing that all of those little fights and battles in our head are affecting how we can create from unity if we're not unified in ourselves. So, unity within ourselves starts from here, from where you stand. Allow people to come and go as they must. That's a hard one. We have a lot of attachments to titles, roles, people, things, ideas. I think family is one of the hardest ones. Yeah. This idea of mother, this idea of father, you obey me, you respect me, you owe me. You're my son, you're my daughter. That means you have to do this, this, and this. And yet it's our life to live. And yet we start to match each other human to human and we realize, oh, wow, we don't necessarily agree on things. That's okay. But if you can let me be free and I can let you be free to be you, then we can both exist simultaneously. I was just having a conversation with a friend about that. We want to be free to go be us and accepted, but think about all the people that you judge, all the people that you want to change, all the people you want to force into your way of thinking. Are you letting them be free? Are you letting them be them to learn their choices, or learn from their choices, learn from their life and their mistakes? So again, there's that mirror. I want you to let me be free, but I'm not letting you be free of my judgment, criticism, and control. That doesn't seem right, does it? Boom, where's the integrity? Boom, that's the question to ask for every interaction. So we want to let each other be free to be. All right, that was the first part of the I Ching. Just thought I'd jump in to do a little reading for you guys, and whatever else comes up, feel free to add in the comments what you'd like to know. Here, converse in. Everybody exhale. It's a crazy thing how much we forget to breathe and how much we forget to exhale. So I will be your reminder this evening as we sit together that that pump of life is everything. Here's what's so funny about unity. The counterpoint, the truth and the paradox, is that it requires a splitting apart. I love when Taoism does that. The contradictions, but the truth in the middle. There's this thing in Taoism, two sides to the coin make the whole. So what seems like opposites, what seems like duality is just different perspectives of a whole thing. Let that settle. Let that sink in. That's unity. So as much as the first reading was about bringing together, there's another part of this reading about splitting apart. There's a lot of breakups and shakeups right now. There's a lot of breakdowns and letting things go that don't serve people, situations, dramas that you're not part of, that you're not needing to be involved in. This is a period when there's a lot of inferior stuff being revealed. There, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's a weird time in this era. The person that can step out of it, that can look at it from a higher perspective, see more, even if you're acting from that place, it can cause some stagnation and some. Don't resist it. Basically, it's like, don't resist it. Everybody is fighting right now. What is the energy of fighting? It's more of the same. It's more division. It's more war. When we stop resisting, fighting, even the situation right now, I see it too. I've seen it for a long time. It's actually been the thing that's existed for eons. But when we fight it and resist it, we're playing the same game energetically. Don't resist. There's going to be some things that play out, shake out, and do their waves of change. That needs not be, that came out weird. That need not be your focus. Ooh, felt that one on the heart. Everybody take a breath. Exhale. Anybody here? I'm having some weird internet connections. And it just anybody here? The live chat disappeared. It's been a very strange internet night. Scheduling night. Well, great. Someone just made a smiley face. Thank you. Cool. There are other people present. All right. So splitting apart, don't fight what's happening on planet Earth right now. There is thank you, Wen. Whether we can see it or not, there is a plan, purpose, and reason for all of it. It doesn't mean we have to agree with it. It doesn't mean we have to play in it. It doesn't mean we have to completely even disengage, but not fight and resist what's going on in the world. I heard it's been written in the stars. And if y'all can just zoom out far enough, you'll see the purpose in place from a higher perspective. So fear not. Don't play into it with fear. You'll just get more of the same. Raquel, thank you for being here. This adversity, this pressure, this heat, it's a stimulant to growth. I want you guys to think about all the crazy stuff that's happened through your lifetime. Things that have made you question, things that have made you ask, is this logical? Is this actually happening? Where is this coming from? These crazy things that happen in the world actually create waves of change, waves of people waking up, waves of people questioning things, waves of a higher awareness of an expansion. I didn't even think this could be possible. I'm also seeing that kind of compression of the coal diamond pressing and compressing and heating up into these diamonds. It's hot right now. I was just telling somebody, like, they were like, "Do you watch the news?" I was like, "No, I don't. I don't want to feed myself with constant fear, screaming, division, opinions. I do, but I'm not unaware either. I do what are called thermometer check-ins, where I'll just peruse, drop the thermometer and go, oh, it's still heating up. Good to know. See how it might have waves and effects on my personal life, my personal reality. And then I go back to living my life with love, showing up for my boys, showing up for my family, for myself, showing up with love, presence in my reality, not all the screen version of reality, not all of the programmed, freaked out responses reality. So it's not that I don't want to know. I do want to know, but I don't want to be in it. I don't want to be feeding it. I don't want my state to drop because everybody's mad and reacting to the next thing. I'll literally see like a news cycle and like they'll drop in just a fear bomb and you'll feel it go off and then everybody reacts and you can actually feel it in the collective. And so they just drag and pull on people's energy. They just drag and pull on people's vibrational state because they steal energy. They feed off of you not knowing you can create your life here and now in presence and love. That's a pretty messed up game. But if you fight what's going on in the world right now, it won't allow you to create that new start, that new beginning, that miraculous way of being that's possible. So when challenging situations come to call, we're often overwhelmed by feelings of anxiety, doubt, and fear. Those are the big boys. Those are the guys, hey, the ones that plague and keep us stuck, ruminating and cycling. So then we feel like we need to act, fight, freeze, immediately, vigorously. And then we just create a big old mess because we do the same thing over and over and over again. So that's when we split apart from our spiritual path. We split apart from our integrity. We start planting seeds of doubt. We start planting seeds of fear and we get fear trees. We get results, consequences, things in our life from that state. So when we catch it, when we call it out, when we're vigilant, okay, that's where I'm at. Being honest, okay, I'm terrified. Oh, okay, that's what it is. We just notice it. We see it. We bring it to light. We allow it to exist. We name it. And then we go, not today. Not today. Where can I put my focus that it's not focused on that spin out of fear, despair? And so that's where that grounding comes in. Boom, plant in your reality. Boom, what's the problem here and now? Here I am. What can I do right now? I can eat, I can drink, I can shower, I can make something, I can look at the person in the eyes instead of going on the screen. I can show up imperfectly, messily, but show up. And then we're not running the fear, doubt, anxiety track. And that one is so easy to slip into. Holy smokes. Let's take a breath. Exhale, y'all. Aman, Donner, I am so happy to see you guys. I love you guys. Add in comments, questions. So I am just going to fill you in. I was asked to do a channel message, new beginnings, lunar, new year, eclipse, cycles. Springtime, Aries, it's go time, guys. The beginning is starting. The end is ending, but it's sometimes a little like this and a mess as it's doing it simultaneously as this portal is opening. But it's happening. It is. And we can all feel that buildup of what's going to happen. But there is some messy, crazy stuff in the world and within ourselves that's being brought to our attention, being illuminated that it is happening right here and now. Old cycles are ending, which means we are taking a look at them, we are being tested by them, and we are catching them this time, especially the anxiety, fear, and doubt, and the complain, the compare, and the judge. Those guys, they create more of the same. That's that old stuff. We don't need more of it. So as the world's doing its world things, and as life is lifing, we're not resisting anymore. We're not fighting it. We're not wasting our energy in that old cycle. That's what this is about, how to use this new beginning. And this is about foundational behavior. Breath, stillness, listen, connect to the body, gratitude, love, life. I get that these all are just words, but I want you to feel them. I want you to feel what it is to be alive. I want you to feel what it is to move from love. I want you to feel what it is to have a little bit of excitement, passion, wow, hope, trust. I want you to feel those. Just fill yourselves for a minute. Feel what it would feel like to be fully supported, to live you, the most you, supported, excited, alive you. That's the stuff we want to focus on. Breath after breath after breath, filling with life. Let's do it again. Big breath in. You feel the difference? You feel the difference? Whoa! Anybody feel the shivers in that one? Oh, that's fun. Pumping it, pumping with life, filling with life, drinking good tea made of good herbs that come from the earth, getting the system flowing, getting the system pumping. I don't know about any of you guys, but I've been starting doing like jumping jacks and squats and just getting my blood pumping in the morning. Because I was like, how do I get out of stagnation? I've been looping. I don't enjoy that. I can feel it. I can see it. It's easy to get into the track, right? So what's that little shift that you can do? What's that little thing that you can do to just switch it? So yeah, we talked about some heavy stuff. Like the world does its world stuff, but we don't need to fight it. We don't need to hold on to every single person that it does not want to grow, does not want to face, does not want to look at it. That's okay. We've all been there too. So we let them be free. We let ourselves be free in that. Isn't that incredible? Now, those are all really nice ideas. Doing it, that's another thing. It's hard. It's really hard. Anybody agree? Cool. I want to take a pause, let the energy settle from that reading, of the irony of the coming together and splitting apart. And that right now, the most important work is the foundational, fundamental work that brings you back home to be the most you, the most alive. That's what we want to feed right now, the most loving to ourselves. What are we going to feel really good about for future self? Looking back and going, wow, I'm glad she did that. I'm glad he did that. I'm proud of that person for showing up to make that change. Changed everything. Maybe it was tiny. I've been doing a lot of what I call micro adjustments. They're these like little experiments with myself where I'm like, I need a shift, but putting on too much heavy, kind of perfect planning goals doesn't feel right to me anymore. So it's been like, I don't want to drink coffee. So instead of like forcing myself to quit and then being angry about it, because I love coffee, I'm going to put it back 20 minutes from when I would normally do it and just see what that little micro adjustment does. And like, I'm going to sit for 5 minutes and I'm going to breathe every time I'm on transportation. And I'm just going to bring in that one focus, that one little time of day, rather than like, I need to sit in perfect meditation for an hour. So, what are those little micro adjustments that maybe you've already been putting into place, ones that work, ones that don't? All right, my darlings, that was the reading for tonight. The new beginning is happening. Things are changing quickly, things are speeding up. But those foundational things are going to be the difference in it, the ease or the getting stuck in the loop and feeding it with more of the same or something new. Trust the magic. Trust the magic. Trust. I did a deep dive on trust issues, right? I think it was Cindy that was said, I don't know people who live in integrity. And how sad is that? People that don't hold to their promises, don't hold to their agreements, don't pay their debts, don't show up the way they know is the right way. These things are hard, but trust was a deep dive for me. And I looked it up, the word, and there was this one part that was like trost, some comfort, some comforting, some soothing. There was another part that was like an expectation that what someone agreed to, they will agree to. Integrity, right? But I had this whole mixed up thing about expectation that I should have none. And then when I saw like trust is having an expectation that what will be fulfilled, what was promised will be delivered. And, the word for expecting mother is like you want the baby at the end. And if you don't, it's the most devastating, grieving, difficult time, or it's a shock of life not fulfilling itself. Ooh, I just felt a heaviness on my chest with that. So for anybody who has had that, I'm just sending you love. Deep breath in. But that word expectation, expecting, I saw trust differently, that we can trust the magic. We can expect the magic. We can know that once a seed has been planted, it will grow. Once a baby's been put in there, it'll be born. It's put in there. Oh, I heard that come out of my mouth. Okay. Trust. Maybe we can shift it. I want trust to be easy. I want trust to be obvious. I want trust to be the most obvious thing. Because I just heard what a hard thing to do. And yes, I agree, it's been a challenge. We've seen a lot of past examples where trust has been broken, a lot of betrayals. I know I've felt that very personally on my skin, and it hurts like real bad. And to come out from it and still be soft and still be open and still have the wonder to step into magic after following things and it didn't end up where we thought. And it had a very different lesson completely. It can be hard. But I wonder what it would feel like if it was the most obvious and natural thing. I wonder how it would feel to just fall into the arms of trust and know it would be caught. I wonder if that's really how the universe works, that if we're just bold enough to let ourselves trust fall, we can fly. These are the things I wonder and that I just want to settle into my psyche in a different way. I settle into my cells in a different way. Are there any final messages or questions, y'all? I'm here for it. I'm listening. And sometimes, even if you have the question, sometimes the cards just pop up for you. Spirit has your back. Be playful. Be peace. Hey, let's plant a playful seed. Bloop. Let's plant a seed of peace. All is well. Let's plant a seed of knowing we are completely supported in all that we do. We are completely held. When you look back at your life and you look at those, what are the chances moment? What are the chances moments that you didn't plan, but you opened yourself up, that you just had enough faith to do a step, and then whoosh, something magical happened. Whoosh, you were caught. I want you to remember that those things exist. I've had to remind myself of those lately. When things get dicey and they get intense, and you're like, this transformation thing is really uncomfortable, and I'm like liquefying and I'm falling apart. I don't know who I am anymore. Because all those identities are like getting bombarded and broken apart. And we just have a memory of like, oh, that time that I couldn't have planned that better, that time that click, 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 everything just kind of flowed and was synchronistic. That exists. What state were you in? How willing were you? So let's plant the seed of playfulness, plant the seed of peace. Seriously, for the last 3 years, I knew I wanted this peace and playful thing, but I was having such a hard time even accessing it. I hadn't laughed in so long. I hadn't smiled in so long. I'd like practiced just a lot of very hard things. It taught me a lot of resilience. It taught me a lot of growth. But to find that access again, to play was tricky. And my boys are around me all the time, bouncing around. And there's a part of my brain that's like, guys, be quiet. Guys, I have things to do. Guys, this stuff takes responsibility and hard. Da, 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 da. And then they'll just do the funniest little thing. And I'll be like, oh, yeah, get out of your head and get out of your butt. Like, life is funny. It's enchanting. It's beautiful. I want to like, ugh. I literally had to like remind myself. I had to watch comedy. I had to like not take myself so seriously. I had to get out my ukulele and, think a think a think a think, fail at it. And then just sit on that idea of peace. Like, what does it mean to know that all is well here and now? We have to just sink into that idea, feel it, move through ourselves. So just right now, what happens when you sit outside and you realize, I'm okay to just sit here? Does anybody do that anymore? I encourage you to go sit and do nothing and just like look up at the sky, hear the wind rustle through the trees, look at a houseplant, um, look at your hand and be amazed that it can move. Like, let yourself be in awe that things are working just for a minute. It's always there. That's the thing that's so annoying about it. The peace is always there. We just are very forgetful humans. Be peace, be play. Remind yourself, oh, loosey goosey. Let's not all take ourselves so seriously, and maybe things might just transform. I love you. I didn't see many questions. I really want to figure out a way that we can do these in a more interactive way, because I get a lot of people tuning in and I appreciate it. And I find that people find my rhythm, my movement, my voice that comes through. It's not mine, but the state, the the exhale, just settling, soothing, peaceful, healing. But I want you to know how much you mean to me, truly, and that I want to hear you and see you and have you know that you can participate, ask. That's a hard thing, right? To even know the question to ask. but I want you to know that I'm here and I'm listening and I'm willing to pull cards for you, pull messages for you in these spaces. Now, I can't do that all the time because of the energy that it takes, the focus that it takes, the mindset it takes for me to do that. But in these spaces, I do want people to know they can do that because otherwise, it is for specifically readings. Am I sharing this now? Yeah, I'm sharing this now. I want to do a write up of this. It's more in depth, but I tried a lot of things this year. Tried a lot of things that failed. I tried a lot of things that did not work. And failed, I mean, like I learned, but like hard lessons, you know what I mean? And I offered a lot of readings for people and a lot of sessions for people to be able to connect, do the work that I do. Um, but my limitations this year were just unbelievable. The focus that I needed to have was on my family and stability because they had been through so much. And I didn't realize that when I had agreed to certain things and exchanges. So I got shut down from doing readings for a long time where I could not read for people. And my schedule became very, very hectic with childcare, that I had one person that I could count on, but she had things that were going on. So my schedule got shifted a lot. My boys went to bed later. Basically, I didn't have the time, resource to be able to tune into the readings that the way I wanted. So I have a backlog still after trying to catch up and trying to catch up of an offering that I actually knew that I wasn't supposed to give. I was giving it out of a place of desperation. I was giving it out of a place of, I need to make money. I need to show up. I need to work. I need to. And I kept hearing spirit say rest. And I didn't trust that. I got really, really scared. And so I said, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need? What can I do? What can I do? And I got I use the expression, I got my ass handed to me because I broke my hands, I lost my hearing, I got sick, my schedule shifted, things got pulled as soon as I didn't listen to that message to rest and restore. So now I have to close out agreements. I also did not realize that Substack's tracking system of names, pages, and emails through Stripe was a mess. To be able to try to track all of that for you guys, I was trying to reach out to people via DMs, via emails, in different accounts, in different places. People weren't getting back to me. Scheduling became a mess. And I was like, how am I ever going to track all of this? So that is why I don't do offerings anymore. And I need to reconfigure what I've been offering. So for people that have been with me for a long time, I was saying, hey, if you do a yearly subscription, I'll give you a session. If you do a monthly subscription, I'll give you a reading. And then I shifted it halfway through because I was like, there's no way I can keep up with all of this. And people weren't getting back to me. And some people wanted it, some people didn't. Then they changed their mind. It was a mess on top of my changing schedule and me not listening to spirit when spirit said, you need to lay down and rest. So when I open these spaces up, I do offer some readings and channelings for you guys, but you have to participate. You have to ask in this space. If you just want me to talk and smooth and breathe with you and say whatever pops into my mind, because that's how this works. It doesn't even pop into my mind. It just goes out my mouth, actually. I don't even hear it until after. But it's an open participation in this space for anyone who has an outstanding debt between us. Please reach out via email and say, hey, I'm missing a reading or I'm missing a session with my thing. I'm trying to hold all of it. Oh, yeah. And so all of this, while this happened, my computer blew up and my phone blew up and my hard drive blew up this year between the broken fingers deafness and 3 boys, single momming for the first time and back in society. So I maybe took on too much. And at the same time, I understand because we had to rebuild and we didn't have the money and I didn't see any other way because my trust had not been developed to know that God would provide, which he, she, all of it has, it's still uncomfortable. It's still tight. It's still terrifying. But fear, I've been caught over and over again. So I have to just laugh at the despair and doubt that I've had for myself. But I do hold to my agreements. I did make those offers. I am working to close out. I believe I have 10 readings. I think I closed out all sessions, but please let me know if there's anything that I owe you because people don't respond to notes, comments, direct messages, emails, WhatsApps. People are all over the place now on these things. When I see you, I am pulling a message for the collective. That's what I've been doing for this whole thing. It was about openings. It was about new beginnings. It was about the foundational work to help through that transition. It was about disengaging and letting go of the things that will pass and that cannot go with you. They just got, freedom is yours. Freedom is yours. So it's the horse. It's the fire horse, baby. Freedom is yours. Now, it was in the reverse. So this is going to be our challenge. This is going to be our learning this year. What is freedom? What is it to let other people be free? What is it to allow yourself to be free? Where are you holding yourself back? Where are your limiting beliefs? Where are the things that you need to catch and discard that are not allowing you to be free, that are dependent? This is a fire horse. Freedom. Now, most people think freedom is just loosey-goosey, do whatever I want. No, that's ego, baby. Freedom is aligning with the flow of everything that already is. The tree knows how to be a tree. The human knows how to be a human. We flow with the ebbs and cycles, the lessons, the waves. That's freedom when we allow it all to exist and we can still be peace. We can still go, okay, this is happening. Neutrality, that center point, that 0 point. That's freedom. And that comes with discipline. It comes with foundational work. It comes with practice. Most people don't want any of that. That freedom, responsibility thing, Spider-Man, it's real. So these are the things that will allow us to be free. When we go, what do I do? Do I get all caught up in somebody else's emotional state? Or am I free from that because I have the self-control to pause, step back, and realize it's not about me? Oh my gosh, the world and this political guy, and blah, 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 and all my energy is wrapped up in somebody else's story, isn't it? What's freedom? What's power? What's pure independence? What's sovereignty? This is going to be the year of the fire horse. Everybody's like, burn straight through to my dreams. Like, yeah, how? What foundation, what seed has been planted to get there? These are not easy. Or are they? How fun was that? Freedom is yours. Horse spirit. Let's go. Lunar New Year, eclipse, springtime, Aries, fire. These are the ancient calendars and energies of new beginnings. They knew what was up. Stars knew what was up. Stars knew what was up. The things that come out of my mouth, I don't even know. Yeah. Yeah, that was perfect. New beginnings, new openings, new movement. We are going to feel kind of an exhale. I just did a session where it was for me. I got to take care of me. I was gifted something to do healing just for me and not hold it for others. We all need to do that. And I felt myself lift from the jungle heaviness with all of these incredible, vibrant birds, like lifting me to the canopy so I could like take my first breath. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever had that heavy feeling and then you get outside and you're like, oh my gosh, like that first breath, like that's what the energy that I'm feeling is, this first breath, this coming up for air after a very long season of like a 7-year season, a 12-year season, a 24-year season. Like all of them are like, I'm seeing the wheels of the clock, the little gears, the big gears, but I'm seeing them all align at the same time and being like, so I don't know if that helps for anybody, but that is what I'm sensing into for me, for you, for all of us, because we truly are one. That's why these collective energies work, because we can all feel it. Ah, thank you guys. I love you guys. Here we go. Blessed night. Take care. Ending. Bye.